Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again, and this is what we call Monday, the second day of the week. Many call it the first day of the week. It's Monday, whatever you call it. I want to share an information package with you. I hope it does good. Again, my name is Eddie Marcus. I've lived on this planet for at least 71 years. I've come off some hard times. I came out of the background of slavery, the poverty, and whatever else you might want to associate with it. Raised by old people. Went to school a little bit, got a college degree, worked for the Veterans Administration in Chicago, served in the United States Navy. I've been to jail and I've been to prison. I've been married and divorced. I've committed adultery and fornication. I've lied, I've cheated, I've stolen, if there's a difference somewhere there. I've done drugs. I've gone to church, grew up in the church. I've been a minister for God. And I want to tell you, when I put all of that together, I realized this, that I'm a man. And I have certain desires and I have certain wants. I have certain pains and sufferings and certain frustrations. As a human being, I believe everybody on the face of the earth experiences these kinds of things. And I don't believe any of us want it. But it happens, want it or not. So, what are we going to do about it? Is there anything that we can do about it? I look at the situations that we as normal Americans experience, and we as people of color have been treated as slaves, and we have given information about what slavery is like. I think we all got some idea, whether we try to deny whether we participated in it or not. We know what slavery is like. We understand that even for 400 years, even to this present date, people of color are treated as second-class citizens. We understand that in the United States of America, if you're white, you're considered privileged. You're considered superior. Even in your laws, in your Constitution, it was designed to do such. And not only that, I realize now that I'm in a culture where there's a talk, a conversation about God. And we have said that every God from wherever the people came from got the opportunity to advocate for their God here in this melting pot. But the only people who are murdered are those people who talk about those gods in such a way that it frees the people down here in this melting pot. So if you're not dying, it means that you've adjusted your message about your God in such a way that down here in this melting pot says you are okay. So what am I saying? I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, this. I have said it, and I'm going to say it again. As far as I'm concerned, we are living in hell. Now, why are we here? The only thing I can say is that we deserve to be here. We are in the midst of hell. It is worse for some of us than it is for others. Those who are riding high in this hell, they're just setting themselves up, I guarantee you, for a deeper death in the next hell. And those of you who have to go through the pain and suffering in this hell, depending upon how you and why you allow that to happen, determines where you're going to be in your next hell. Now, we're going through some changes, ladies and gentlemen, and I can understand why. Because as we are misfits. If we talk about heaven, I can say, who amongst us would say that we deserve to be in heaven? Who amongst us would put our lives on the line that every American, that every citizen, perhaps, every human being, have access to food, clothing, and shelter, and education, and health care, and all of the other things that human beings might be able to come up with, as long as they play a participatory part in the process of causing all of these things to exist. And understanding that by doing it, it's a partnership between we, the human beings, we as individuals, with our God, with our Creator who put us here to render a service, to give a service, to be a gift to being here. And when we do that, we get the rewards. We don't be taxed. We don't go into debt. But we live in a system that says we do. And why do we do these things? Because as far as I'm concerned, we're living in hell. I know you don't believe this, and I am telling you this because you don't believe this. If you believed it, I wouldn't have to tell you. You'd know it and you'd be showing it. So what am I saying? I'm saying we have accepted a whole bunch of stuff. But yesterday or a few days ago, there were some people that were living in Kentucky. There were some people that were living in certain parts of Illinois. There were some people that were living in certain parts of Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, Missouri, who had as much peace as perhaps you got right now. But something happened, and there was some devastating wind that crossed the land, they say over 200 miles, and it was seemingly wiping out everything in its path. I don't care how they felt last week. I guarantee you today they feel pain. They feel suffering. And many of them are wondering, who are we going to turn to? What can we do? Is FEMA going to come through? The Salvation Army, is it going to be sufficient enough? How long is it going to take to rebuild this stuff? How much money is it going to take? You know, because all of this is on top of what the Senate has just said a couple of weeks ago that we couldn't afford. We couldn't afford to build back better. Now we still are talking about build back better. We still got these problems out here. How are we going to do it? Can we do it? I'm asking you. I guarantee you, my friends, as long as you're thinking about money, you got a problem. Ask Puerto Rico. Ask these other places where storms have gone through. Are they rebuilt? What I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to lie to you. To me, this is hell. You don't know it, you got an excuse. But when everything evolves around money, which God has nothing to do with, when those who tell you about God ask you to plant a seed and God gonna give you more money, golly, I mean, hell is sunk to its deepest depth. But people sending that money in, planting those seeds, but they don't care about you, the people. Many of them are putting their lives on the line, at least their conversation, saying that the babies can be born, but don't care how they make it out here in the streets. The babies got to be born, but the cops can shoot them down in the streets. The babies can be born, but you'll send them off into war. What does that sound like? And you're going to church every Sunday talking about God. What kind of God you talking about? Don't say nothing. All you got to do is look around, and we'll see the God that you represent. Don't tell me you represent anything other than that. You think I'm lying? Ask somebody who you promise you're going to do something for. And if you did it, they'll gladly say yes. And if you didn't, I bet you might be ashamed depending upon the reason why you didn't. If you didn't have it, what can you say? If you had it and didn't, yeah, I'd be ashamed too. But you won't. Why? Because that's the way you roll. That's the way of the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to you today because I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of going out there struggling at my old tail, doing things I should not be doing. Working just like old slave knew, surviving in this nation. Why am I saying that? Because I know you are doing it too. I see you out there doing the same things like I'm doing. You're hustling. You're trying to survive. And now you're trying to get politicians who will tell you they're going to do something for you, but they're lying. All they want to do is get their pockets fed. I want you to know that there is a God, but you can't be taking this crap from people. And the only way you can know God is when you start standing up for everybody. That's the sign that you know God. But when you're looking out for yourself only, and yours, and the heck with anybody else, I know we all have been trained to say that. And it's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. And as long as we walk that path, we're going to be going through the same things over and over, 1492, 1776, 2021. And so on and so forth. But for me, I'm telling you, This is hell, and I don't want no part of it. And I'm telling you, you're going to burn like burn if you believe what these people are telling you. What am I saying? I'm saying that the only way that you can say anything about your love for God is in the way you treat one another. The way you treat one another. You treat your family good. Okay. You treat your community good. Okay. And so on and so forth. But see, when you care about all of them, then that one little simple thing that you do for the one is applicable to the all. It's no big thing. It's simple. Now, I'm not going to go into it right now, but I got videos. I mean, they go long back in time. And I talk about every kind of subject you can imagine. And it's all relevant to a different kind of life. A paradise on earth, a heaven on earth, a utopian society. Why? Because we the people grew up and stopped acting like animals. Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying goodbye for now.